Most will know what ghosting is, just in case. It means totally halting communication with neither warning nor explanation, most often in the context of the early stages of a romantic relationship. If someone with whom you've recently shared contact abruptly ignores you in this fashion, the idea is that it makes you feel as if you're a ghost. Invisible, immaterial, partially taken out of the world and yet trapped in it still. There is a widespread belief that ghosting is becoming more common in the age of digital communication, online dating, and such. I'm not certain if this is the case, but it does seem that some are willing to X out another human being just as easily as they might X out an application window on a computer screen. I'm not of the school of thought which says that ghosting should be accepted as a benign cultural adaptation. This is coming from someone who has been ghosted by a few folks, and, though I'm not proud of it, has himself ghosted others on one or two occasions a long time ago, when he was considerably dumber than he is today. I think ghosting is abhorrent behavior. I don't have children, but if I did, I wouldn't want them growing up in a world where such insolence was de rigueur. When I did the ghosting, there was nothing okay about it. Why do people ghost? In my case, it was because I simply wasn't mature enough to handle my own feels, so I threw them in the trash and walked away because it was easy. Here's a thing about habitual ghosters, not universal, but quite common. They often present as smooth operators. They're just playing the field, having fun, everything's cool. Nothing's too serious. It's all good. Now, there are people who are like this because they're genuinely comfortable in their own skin, confident about what they want, and in control of their egos. But those aren't the ghosters we're talking about. Serial ghosts are the ones who wear this well-adjusted facade on the outside because it comes across as attractive but are deeply insecure and emotionally half-baked within and may have serious communication issues besides. They're afraid to feel and to keep things real, whether that means being able to fall in love or to be courteously clear with someone that, sorry, it ain't gonna happen. The part of their smooth operator persona they don't disclose in advance on their dating profile, because no one would touch them with a 10-foot pole if they did, is that as soon as any realness is called for, either way, their response will be promptly pretending you never existed. The awful part is that some convince themselves that this childish behavior is sexy, modern, hip, and in the know. So what do you do about being ghosted? You move the hell on. Getting over it is easier for some than for others. Being ghosted pretty well universally sucks, but how easily one shrugs it off is, apart from its relation to the length and depth of the connection one thought one had with another person, often just a function of how readily one invests one's ego outside of oneself. People who are slow and cautious about opening up to others will tend to deal with ghosting more easily than those who wear their hearts on their sleeve, who like to jump in head first. I'm not saying one approach is better or healthier than the other, just that they have different consequences. There's a sense in which dating while desperate is much akin to grocery shopping while hungry, so caveat emptor. In any case, you'd be well advised not to waste a single second on someone who has treated you this way. It may be hard to see this until a little time has passed, but the person who has made a spooky specter of you has also just done you a solid in a roundabout way. They've shown you who they really are. Remember that the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior, and that your life is too short and valuable for excess bullshit. Let the experience toughen you a little, but don't allow it to make you brittle. You'll be all right. Ghosting is one of the banes of my existence in the dysfunctional world we currently live in, as it is absolutely a huge part of the problems we face and perpetuate in society today. Yes, I have been ghosted, and yes, unless you truly don't give a rat's butt about the person who did the ghosting, it affects your mental and emotional health, at least for a while, until you realize how childish, irresponsible, careless, and disgusting such behavior was. Outside of someone physically threatening you, acting out regularly and breaking you down, or refusing to respect your wishes to not be in contact. The issue I have with ghosting is that it creates an environment where communication is lost and, with that, all able to achieve closure or continuance, depending on the situation that resulted in the ghosting. My friends and I work things out by talking and always have, by maturely discussing the issues at hand and determining via communication if the issues were worth working through. Even when we decided they were not, we kept the window of communication open and, as a result, all but two of us are still friendly with one another today. And some of us ended up closer than before. If someone ghosts you, I recommend not giving them a second thought, because it's really gross and irresponsible behavior that resembles something a 4-year-old might do. I ultimately asked myself why I would want any such adult in my life, And the easy answer was, I don't.